Welcome to another video. Today we'll be talking about this book, Don't Talk to Strangers by Matt Dahlia. This book has been recently brought out and I thought it was so interesting that I wanted to make a video about it. It's made by the creator of YesTheory. If you've never heard of that, YesTheory is a very big YouTube channel with almost 10 million subscribers, I think. I'll display it somewhere around here. And it's created by 4 guys. One of them is Matt, the writer of this book actually. And basically, some fans may have heard it. If you're not a fan, you probably don't know. But he actually left YesTheory and he wrote a book about his experience with it. And I want to get into that actually. The whole thing about YesTheory is they have this theory and basically they say yes to adventures and everything around that. So they have this theory that seeking discomfort is the gateway to a fulfilling life. By seeking discomfort, you will have experiences that you will be able to tell your grandchildren and they'll be like, wow, amazing, that's unique. And yeah, that's it. Basically, they create these very outlandish videos where they do some crazy things, and these are some examples actually. So about a year ago, it was announced that one of the main creators, Matt, would leave YesTheory for personal reasons. And one of them was to work on this book, Don't Talk to Strangers, or actually Talk to Strangers. It's crossed out as you can see. Basically in this book he talks about his experiences with YesTheory and how it worked out. And it starts off by describing the situation that he was in. Basically, Matt had a very small clothing company called Heart City. In short, this company was quite awful. It wasn't successful, not a lot of people knew it, and he ran it through his own room. He didn't have a lot of storage, and yeah, not a big hit. At one point he arranged something with the university that there would be this group of students that would help him out with the marketing. One of these students was Thomas, who later on became his business partner and one of the co-creators of YesTheory. And yeah, they got along very well. They became good friends. And that's how basically the story starts. One day Thomas actually told Matt that he has a YouTube channel, and this YouTube channel wasn't super successful, but it had one super big video, like 20,000 views, and it was quite successful. And Matt watched this and he thought Thomas had potential to become a YouTuber. And actually the whole idea was that Thomas would promote Matt's clothing, but that didn't end up, well, it did end up happening, but something else happened, which is the whole creation of YesTheory. And that's basically where the book really starts. Basically, the first content they produced was a challenge, and the challenge was that they would make 30 videos in 30 days about 30 things that they've never done in their life. And it started off quite weird by Thomas actually finding it. He talked to a guy, Amar. Amar was just visiting the city that they were in. And basically, Thomas was like, yo, you have a place to stay? And Amar didn't have a place, he just went there. So he invited him to his apartment to sleep over there. And yeah, Matt thought that was crazy because, well, random guy. And yeah, the whole idea was that that was like the first thing that they would do that they have never done before, let a random guy just sleep in your room. That's how it gets started. They started off the 30 videos, and actually Amar, the guy that was sleeping there, also joined the videos, the 30 videos, and they created them. One went very big. In the end, they got contacted by a lot of people, including Snapchat, so they made a deal with them that they would display their videos on the Snapchat story. That was like their big breakthrough. But the problem with this deal was that it limited their creative freedom, and because of that they weren't fully happy with the deal. They created one season and after that they actually stopped it and they just went solo, so they just created continued creating their own videos on YouTube. And yeah, that went quite well until one point they actually challenged Will Smith. The challenge was to jump out of a helicopter. Yeah, so the guys filmed a video of them jumping out the helicopter and they challenged Will Smith, and he actually and they asked the comment section to comment on Will Smith's recent video, because he also had a YouTube channel, to join the challenge, and he actually joined, and that was their like gigantic breakthrough. That was when they really started going quickly and become a very big thing. Matt had actually a discussion with Will Smith during that process, and Will Smith ended up asking how it was for them to become this big so quickly, how the YouTube thing was going. And yeah, it was quite draining because of the consistency you have to do. Like every day you need to upload a video, or every day you need to work on that and that and that, create ideas and talk to a lot of people, and it was very draining to them. And Matt actually realized at this point that YouTube isn't a thing for him. He isn't that fond of cameras, which are quite important when having a YouTube channel. Breaking up with YesTheory and creating his own little thing, and he made this book. And yeah, that's the story very shortly. So what can we learn from this story? Because okay, it's a story, it's how it happened, but there's always some lessons we can grab from it. First of all, I think the biggest one is maybe put 100% focus on the things you want most. For example, in the book, Matt describes about a situation about having this clothing brand that didn't go well, and he was working at the same time on this YouTube channel and the clothing brand, which basically drained him, and he didn't have time for either of them, so none of them he did very well. So in the end, he decided to cut ties with the clothing company and focus on the YouTube channel, and it worked out. They became that's the first lesson. The second thing kind of combines with this. It's do not be afraid to make decisions that sacrifices something else. If the thing that you sacrifice for makes you happier. Matt ended up splitting up from YesTheory and starting his own little thing, and he created a book. The other one is, if something does not feel right, just trust your gut. In the video they talk a lot about the Snapchat deal, and that they didn't want to sell their soul and their creativity to some random big company like Fox or something. So when they did the Snapchat deal, it felt a bit off, and in the end they were kind of right because they limited the creativity. They had a lot of rules they needed to follow. The first video that got suggested by Snapchat was about doing a turtle race, which didn't fit exactly with what they wanted to do. And the final one that they always talk about in the video is a stranger is a friend you haven't met yet. And it discusses that in this modern age, we're quite self-centered. We don't talk that much to strangers. For example, if someone enters the elevator, you will probably not talk to him. You will be put on your headphones even maybe and try to avoid him. And the whole thing is about that. If you stop ignoring strangers, maybe you'll actually make a good friend. And yeah, that's the 4 lessons that I got from it. At the end of the book, there's this one quote that I think summarizes everything a bit. And the quote is quite inspiring, maybe for some people a bit cringy, but oh well. I think it's cute. The quote is, despite what anyone tells you who you should be, you have the right to determine the life you want to live. So don't live somebody else's dream, just focus on finding and living yours. I think that's a good quote to end this video with, actually. Is this book worth a read? I even got the signed version, so I was very excited for this book, actually. I would say yes, especially if you're a YesTheory fan, yes, it's a must. I think you will like it, and you will actually learn a lot maybe about how entrepreneurship also works a bit. It's interesting, especially if you want to join like the creator economy and start creating your own videos, whatever, Instagram posts, or it's quite an interesting book to like reflect on the stuff that you don't think about. Like some of the stuff seems so perfect about YouTube, but because you see all the good stuff of it, like having these great adventures and jumping out of an helicopter with Will Smith and all that stuff, but he also talks about the other stuff that around it that we don't see, and it gives you a different view on how all these creator economy stuff works. So movies and YouTube videos and Netflix shows and all that stuff. And if you are into that, yeah, I recommend the book. So yeah, if you liked it, the book is called Talk to Strangers. Yeah, you can get it on their website and probably everywhere around now. Yeah, I recommend getting it if you're into that stuff. That's about it actually for today. Thank you for watching again. Have a nice day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's end the video with seek discomfort. Yeah, that may be a bit cringe, but oh well. I hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Bye.